your kingdom here. Let the darkness fear. Show your mighty hand. Heal our streets.
So I don't know about you, but I find myself very easily distracted. And often I'm distracted by stuff on YouTube, whether it's trick shots or bottle flipping, huge cranes or machines, hill climb races, or even Mark Rober's setting up a Ninja Warrior course for squirrels in his backyard. That's a pretty fun one. It's impressive the amount of effort that people go to make these YouTube videos, and really, maybe being a YouTuber could be a career for you young people. But don't expect mom and dad to be quite so excited about it as you are. I find I'm easily distracted, and often it's by good things, whether it's by work or projects or hobbies, stuff that we're doing together with other people. It's so easy to be distracted to the point where I willingly give valuable time and energy to things that might not be most important right at that moment. And sometimes our distractions cause us to miss out on chances to learn from Jesus, to hear from Jesus. I want to read from Luke chapter 10, verse 38. It says, "As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, 'Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me.' 'Martha, Martha,' the Lord answered, 'you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her.'" I think sometimes we get kind of hard on Mary in this story. She's clearly not as spiritual as her sister. It should have been very obvious that she should be in the living room with Jesus, taking notes on what he was saying. How could she not be doing that? But the thing is, she wasn't doing anything bad per se. She was in the kitchen getting a meal ready for the Savior of the world. She opened up her home to Jesus. These were good things. But verse 40 shows us something that I've often missed. It shows us something that was going on inside of Martha. Verse 40 says that she was distracted. Martha was distracted. She was running around doing things that weren't bad, but they just weren't the most important thing at the moment. Her heart wasn't in tune with where Jesus wanted her to be right at that moment. Mary, on the other hand, Mary was sitting at Jesus' feet. And I don't think that just means where she was sitting in the room, but back in Jesus' day, disciples or students, they would follow their rabbi or their teacher. They would follow them around all the time, learning from their teacher in everyday life activities. They were trained at the feet of their rabbi. And so Mary was sitting at the feet of Jesus. She was being trained. She was looking for opportunities to learn from Jesus. Mary and Martha both wanted to follow Jesus. They both wanted to serve Jesus. But Martha, she simply got distracted from the most important thing she could be doing at the moment. She got distracted and missed a chance to be learning and hearing from Jesus. Now, it's easy for us to laugh at the person who's totally into their phone and walking and texting down the street, and they miss the big yellow warning signs and just trip into some freshly poured concrete, right? It'd be easy to laugh at that person. How could they be so oblivious? But how often do you and I do the same thing? Jesus has big, bright signs up all around us. He is at work. He is doing things around us. He wants to teach us. He wants us to hear from him. And yet we're so often distracted. I am so often distracted. Jesus is working and he's wanting to speak, and yet I have my nose glued to something far less impressive than he is. So where have you been distracted? Where have you been distracted to the point where you're missing a chance to learn from Jesus? And we're the ones that are truly missing out if we're so distracted. What are you willing to do about it today?
Build your kingdom.